Mark Becker, EC Police Chief, sat in that chair a couple times, and I've talked to him a number of times. He's in a tough spot coming
Yes, he
in from
is.
the outside, but he is a law enforcement guy. What was when you went in on these sweeps? What was the relationship with Mark Becker and
Nothing
his
but
thing?
good. Mark and I worked together for a long time when he was with the FBI and with HIDA, and he was in charge of Grit and Gary, and when I was chairman of the HIDA, when I was sheriff before, and nothing but a good working relationship. We just talked to him the other day, yesterday, and there's going to be more activity coming in the very near future. That it's cooperation. Nobody's going on anybody's turf. This is law enforcement working together. You got city, you got town, municipalities, and the county, and then you got the state. We have developed such a wonderful working relationship with the state police now. That fell by the wayside for the past several years. And we were there. We lend assistance to them when they need assistance on the highways. We're there to help them, and they're there to back us up now. And the post commander over there, Jerry Williams, Lieutenant Williams, I know him very well. He used to be a correction officer, as a matter of fact. So we've got a good working relationship over there with the Lowell Post and everything that has all of Lake County, and that's what you want to do. You want to build that relationship. With the federal government, I can't say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's in the paper again today. That Dave Kapp, the job he's doing, prosecuting these gangbangers. I see where he nailed a few more, charged a few more now. These imperial gangsters and the kings and Latin kings and that. That's what we need. We need to get everybody on the same page working on this. Don't worry about my turf or your turf.
All right, let's go straight at that. I've got the press release from Mary Hatton in the office over there, and it says this: U.S. Attorney Dave Kapp announced a second indictment charging 3 additional individuals alleged to be members of the Imperial Gangsters in a 26-count indictment unsealed yesterday. Now, here's the first thing Kapp says, and this is interesting, and I believe we're going to have him like Monday or Tuesday,
Good.
And we'll see what we can do about that. But this indictment is a result of our ongoing cooperative law enforcement effort against criminal organizations. And the first sentence, first couple of words, cooperative law enforcement effort. It seems to be the buzzword right now.
And that's what it's all about. That's what we've preached for years and years. When I was, again, going back to when I was sheriff before, we all have to be on the same page. All the agencies have to work together. There has to be that trust, that camaraderie, everybody working together, that we have one common goal. And before I can remember some chiefs years ago had their heads buried in the sand, saying, "Oh, it's not in my neighborhood, so I don't care. It's not in my town. It's not in my city. I don't care." Hey. But you know what? I told them then, and I tell them now. Hey, see what I mean? It's coming to an area close to you. It's coming into your town. It's happening.
So, are you getting the attention of some folks that you may not have had the attention of in the past?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, they see now what we're striving for. This cooperation and working together, and that's what it's all about. It's not politics or it's not anything like that. That mistrust, it's gone. It's again working together. Meeting, communicating, and talking about our problems.
219-845-1100. You want to talk to Sheriff John Buncich. What do you think about all this? I mean, obviously there's some very deep crime going on these days and some pretty heavy efforts to combat that crime at the law enforcement level. You got any questions for John Buncich right now? 219-845-1100. Hey, you're on the air. What's up?
Hi. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
That's an interesting. I called in about whippets, but here's my thing. You'll always have a job, and by you, I mean law enforcement, because we're never going to be able to completely prevent crime, right?
Correct. Well, we just keep striving to lessen it.
It's the nature of us being the beast, but I digress. The reason I was calling is, in addition to all of these insane, synthetic, over-the-counter, more or less, drugs that our youth have easy access to, there's this other thing called a whippet. I don't know what it is. I've never seen one. But how does a kid get them? I mean, are they something you can do out of a convenience store, a hardware store? And then the second thing, and this just freaks me out, apparently there's a deodorant called Axe, and it's specifically marketed to young male adolescents. And kids are inhaling that, and it is enormously lethal. I mean, where does this stuff come from, and how does a parent who has teenagers in their household even address it if we don't even know what it is? And I'll hang up and listen.
Well, you know, that's been prevalent. I don't care what the product is, these sprays and everything that have that, you know, that anything you're using now. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm following a guy in a truck this morning. He's in a truck, and he's spraying this Axe stuff all over him. You know, this body spray. You know, and I'm looking at, wow, look at what that truck smells like. But I know the kids are out there; they're doing that. These accelerants, these things that you know, they put in these cans, the spray and everything else. They're doing that. I mean, that's prevalent all over the country. And all you can do is again preach and preach and preach to parents. Watch what your kids are doing. Be aware if there's a change in an attitude, change in their lifestyle, change in their health. You know, they're exhibiting some different personalities or whatever. To pay attention to it. You know, it's just not adolescence and growing up. Something might be there. So don't think you're being a nosy parent. To get involved with it.
All right, here's what whippets are. Well, small canisters of compressed nitrous oxide intended for cooking and baking purposes, which are inhaled for a momentary high.
Right.
And what else? Also canisters of nitrous oxide that can be put into balloons and huffed for an intoxicating effect that lasts for a few seconds. Perhaps now that you're taking all these things out of the gas stations, maybe the kids are moving on to some of these more traditional.
I mean, that's what I mean. How do you combat something like this? This stuff's sold over the counter as food products or other types of deodorants or whatever. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, everything these kids are coming up with. Why don't they do something more productive? You know what I mean?
Good luck.
Good luck. You know what I mean? Yeah. Come up with something that's worthwhile.
219
break.
I mean, I didn't know anything about this, and I think that it's probably one of the first times that you've heard of whippets being prevalent.
That terminology, yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but the using this aerosol spray, we have a lot of problems with that. A lot of high school kids and middle school kids are experimenting with that a lot too.